They used to say there's a term that says you have to work hard to make it look easy. Let me say
Mm,
it right. You have to work hard to make it look easy. And so to me, that's how marriage is. It's a lot of work. But the thing that they corrected me on that I will always remember and I use to this day is marriage requires effort versus work. Because work makes it
yes.
sound like it's a drudgery, even
Mm.
though it's nothing wrong with work, but it requires effort. And so marriage is like anything else. Whatever you put in, that's what
Right.
you get. If you put in good effort, you get that back.
Well, here we are again with another wonderful episode of the Beyond I Do podcast. We had a chance to interview a wonderful couple that I think that we have gained some new family. Well, we already gained new family with her, but I think
Um,
he has definitely signed on to
it
be
was
new family for us.
it was us and another font.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely us in another font.
Yeah.
Their story, their
The
the
dynamics of
dynamics,
the
yes, definitely.
relationship, their personalities, I think it's us and another
Yes.
font. Yep.
We had the pleasure to interview Tyrone and Verlyn Tarleton, such a wonderful couple that have been together 19 years. And they just shared with us their beautiful story and shared some great words of wisdom and adopted us.
We had a good conversation. There were some wonderful pearls of wisdom to come out
Yes.
of it, but more importantly, there were some laughs, and we enjoyed our talk and hope that you do as well.
Yep. All right. Here we go.
If you could tell us who you are, how long you've been together, and how your love story started.
I'll introduce myself. I'm Verlyn Tarleton.
I'm Tyrone Tarleton.
We've been together for 19 years and we've been married for 18 years and we met at work.
Okay.
I didn't know if you always tell me if I want an opinion that you'll give me one, and that's why our marriage is so wonderful.
Okay.
Happy wife, happy life.
All the
That's
time. Yeah, I'm a retired school teacher. I worked for Prince George County Board of Education for 29 years, and I taught at the community college for 19 years. My background's industrial arts, and my first few years I taught what was called welding occupation, and then I moved into foundations of technology, and then I did a little science for about a year or so, and then I ended up going out with intro to pre-electrical engineering class, and
Mhm.
I sort of floated around, as you can see, and in doing all that, I met the love of my life at Suitland High School, where I was basically for 29 years. And it's just been so happy ever since.
All right. Look at her face.
See where this is going.
so Ms. Verlyn, what's your take on that?
Okay, first of all, the whole Miss Verlyn thing, you're making me sound and feel real old.
Now we're in the South.
Oh my
You know
goodness.
that.
That is ingrained in us. I'll try, but that's ingrained in us to put a handle on it.
Okay. Well, it is. I was working at Suitland High School, and yeah, that's how we met. We were both working, and he tells a different kind of story, but since he doesn't want to say that, he claims he saw me walking up the steps. But hey, I'm not going to tell his story if he don't want to tell.
Well, I didn't know how detailed, honey, you wanted me to get, because I didn't want them to think that I was no kind of a stalker or anything like that. Because I mean, hey, when I saw her, it was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Tyrone, and the first thing you do is, hey, what church do you belong to? I figured I'd get through the church side. You know what I mean?
There you go.
She told me, what church, that she was attending and going, and I guess a few days later, she brought me over a flyer, with her church and everything. I'm like, wow, this is all right. And before you know it, it was like hallelujah. She, she kind of, I can say she brushed me off, but she didn't give me what I wanted. I'm like, hey, I think I'm all that, and you know, and eventually, we started talking, and one thing led to another, and before you know it, like I told her, I said, hey, I don't have time to play no games. Hey man, when I saw this queen, I'm like, hey, I don't have time for no games. I'm serious about, what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we had been dating for about a year or so, and some kind of way, me, her, and her mother, we were in the car and we were talking about marriage, and her mother said, "Well, maybe you should wait for a year," And she said, "Go ahead." I said, "No, no, no, no." I said, "We don't have to wait anymore. I don't know what mom was up to, but I know what I was up to." And within a few weeks or months, we were married. And hey, I tell you what, and I say it to her all the time. Meeting Verl, my life is 100%. And when I say 100%, we both give that. And sometimes I think she gives a little more, but hey, that's a love story that I have. I have a lady whom I fell in love with, and I thought I was all at one time. You know how it is, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So here we are 19 years later, and most people that were in the school knowing me, they said, well, the marriage will probably last for about a year, you know. And hey, here we are 19 years later, and Tyrone I'm a very happy man, and it's not always, hunky dory, but guess what? With the good that I have, it outweighs all of that. And how people say it's 80-20 now, maybe 95-5, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful. Hallelujah.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's great. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
So, Verlyn,
Mm-hmm.
what about your joy there, sister?
What about what?
What about your joy?
Oh yeah, the one thing. Let me tell you, this is a couple that I read a book, and I used to always say how yeah, I'm happy and all of that, but marriage is a lot of work. I used to say that. They used to say there's a term that says you have to work hard to make it look easy. Let me say it right. You have to work hard to make it look easy. And so to me, that's how marriage is. It's a lot of work. But the thing that they corrected me on that I will always remember and I use to this day is marriage requires effort versus work, because work makes it sound like it's a drudgery, even though it's nothing wrong with work, but it requires effort. And so marriage is like anything else. Whatever you put in, that's right. If you put in good effort, you get that back. It's, the whole sowing and reaping. And so for me, oh goodness, I just saw that picture. So for me, marriage has shown me that when you put in the effort, that you will get it back. So yes, we're happy and all of that, but it takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
It was not something that happened overnight. It was a process.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, it's a process. And so we had to grow to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to get on here and people say, oh yeah, boy, oh, let's do it. We're going to be, no, you got to put in that effort,
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay consistent and you can't quit.
Right. Exactly.
So that's one of the things that we say, that we have the relationship, and then it's me, and then it's him, and sometimes we have to make decisions that are best for our marriage. And so that might mean that I may not get exactly what I want or do exactly what I want, but if I'm thinking what's best for our relationship, then that's what we do. And so I know for me that was a growing process. I grew up as an only child, and I wasn't used to sharing. I wasn't used to having to take into consideration someone else's, how an outcome would affect someone else. So that was a challenge for me that I had to learn. So what types of things coming into marriage, did you have to learn, or were there things that you felt like, okay, that's not something I expected. I've got to think through how to get through this. What are some of those difficult things that you've had to work through?
Let me think. Being an only child as well,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding to see another perspective, and
Mm.
to understand that how I may feel about something or how I perceive something is not the same way that somebody else perceives it. And to
Mm-hmm.
be able to come together and, talk that thing out. Because, um, again, being an only child, I wasn't, it's just some things I was used to and I wasn't used to. And so it is definitely a learning process. And my biggest thing, and we talked about this before, my biggest thing is that I've learned how to communicate better. Meaning
Yes.
I've learned how to listen, and
Mm-hmm.
before I was only listening to either respond, or I was listening in 3D: deflection, denial, and defense. I was
Uh-huh.
looking, I was going to deflect and turn it around to something that was done before. So if he said, well, when you said this to me, I felt this way or whatever, I was going to say, well, last week when you said such and such to me, I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to defend and say, well, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. You took it the wrong way. Or, had you not said this, I wouldn't have said that. I've
Mm.
never really been a denier. Like if I said it, I would not just flat out be like, no, I didn't say it. But in a way, when you try to deflect, you're denying your responsibility and denying taking accountability for your words. And so I think for me, learning that communication is not just talking, because that I do very well. And I can drag a point on for 2 years. But to
I
actually
run through that head up, boy.
to listen, to understand, man, let me tell you, and he'll tell you, if I write a note, it's over. It's over.
So whereas some men hate to hear, "Can we talk?" He hates to see some paper
See the
coming.
letter. Oh,
When I
Lord.
see that letter coming, I'm like, oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Lord.
I said,
No.
honey, let's just talk about it. He said, no, I want you to read this.
Well, hey, Tyrone, what was the longest? Like 5, 10 pages? How long was that thing?
Average 5 to 10.
And we'll add here that Verlyn is an author. So
Yes. She definitely is.
Yes.
So Tyrone, what did you learn? What types of things have you had to course correct to make sure that the two of you are here with us 19 years later, smiling?
Yes.
Well, like she talking about, that rough road that we started out on. I had to learn, to put Verlyn first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming out of another marriage, you'll drag stuff into a marriage,
Yes.
and I did that. I brought a lot of baggage with me that I'm grateful now that I don't have to worry about that anymore, because she is first now.
Yes.
Nobody comes before her. Children, my mom and dad are gone, but nobody, comes before her now. I've made that point clear. And when you're so used to just doing whatever you want, saying what you want, and not really having any sympathy or concern or compassion for somebody else's feelings, unconsciously, not, you're not, I wasn't being devious or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just a norm for me. If one of my children say, hey, dad, and, hey, look, Verl, I'll be back. I'm going over here. I'm going to do this. Or if one of them came over here and did something, I would say, okay, well, look, don't worry. It's okay, but it wasn't okay. And
Right.
it took me a while to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've learned from this relationship is that as the priest of my home, there's certain things that I have to do. And if I don't do those things, then it's going to cause confusion. And I'm not going to have a happy home because my wife is not happy because I'm not doing the things that I should be doing. And
Mm-hmm.
once I got that together, then things began to smooth out for me. And a lot of people that, and I say family or friends, they realize that, hey, guess what? He's with Verlyn, and
Mm-hmm.
that's his family,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because for a while, I don't even think that Verla felt though she was my wife because she had made comments, I don't feel like I'm your wife, and
Mm.
that hit home too, So I'm like, wow, hey, I'm married to you and you don't feel like you're my wife. Well,
Mm-hmm.
naturally, I'm not treating you like you're my wife. I'm
Right.
treating
Right.
you like it's somebody I just met and you some kind of associates and all of that. But once I
Mm.
begin to, to root in and, become stronger, because it was a challenge for me to tell my children no, or no, uh, to make the point that Verl was my wife, it was like the children are first. Hey, look, I'm gonna take care of my children. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
met you
Mm.
and you're nice, but these are my children. So that was
Yeah.
and it's a growing experience.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's nothing that I saw, coming. It was just like all of a sudden I'm in this situation and there was no prepping for it. I didn't go to
Mm-hmm.
any
Mm.
kind of a counselor and say, hey, look, you've been in this situation. Then this is your wife, and these are the things that you need to be doing. And it wasn't like I had older brothers or older sisters or
Mm.
mom or dad that would sit me down and say, son, look, this is what you need to be doing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so I was learning as I was going, and it very very complicated for a while. But hey, after a decade or so, hey, we're still here. Hallelujah.
But that's good that you say that, because we are learning. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
don't. Uh, I had a good example of a father, and the way he treated my mother. But my dad passed away when I was 21, so here I was 22, and getting married, and didn't have that guidance. So it's kind of like I had to try to figure out, okay, what was the right way to go about being a husband. I was just trying to learn how to be an adult, more or less, being a husband. So it definitely is a learning curve. And, the good thing is Verlyn gave you grace
Mm.
during that
Hallelujah.
time,
Hallelujah.
Right.
to learn what it is you needed to know.
Right. I
And
was
so,
just thinking that because
yeah.
some of the things that we see today, people are ready to leave for less
Oh,
than,
yes.
than what you said.
Hallelujah.
And I'm thinking if you're going to leave your spouse over um, socks that are in the middle of the floor,
Yeah.
you're not going to ever be married because no one is going to fit every in every slot and check every box. There's going to be something that you have to extend grace and learn to
Mm. Yep.
compromise or to somebody we spoke to said collaborate and work together on those things. So
Mm.
that type of grace is something that I think people should they really need to think about going into marriage because we have to extend it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
We
Yep.
have to extend it
Exactly.
or we would have been we would have
No, we wouldn't
divorced
have.
once a
Yeah.
year, I think. We would have
Probably. Probably.
at
Well,
least once
Probably.
a year we
Yeah.
would have parted ways.
well,
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. In addition to Grace, because I have been married too. We were both divorced, and I have children from my previous marriage, and so I had a level of understanding, although our circumstances were different. And the thing is, in the back of my mind, I said, "Well, I know he's a good man." You know what I mean? Like the character
Mm-hmm.
who he is. He was a good man.
Mm.
He was a good provider. He was a good protector. Like I knew he loved me, but he was just trying to figure out how to navigate through
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Right.
We're very opposites. He is I'll just speak for myself. I'm a very, clear cut, like once it's over, it's done. and that's it. And so I had set very clear boundaries, and it was like, this is over and all of that. Whereas my husband's a little more compassionate, he's a little more gentle and things like that. So I had to learn that sometimes people just don't have the capacity to do a certain thing at a certain time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You just, but then after a while you kind of say, okay, let's pick it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you have to, again, extend that grace and give people that chance, because I couldn't expect him to do like me, because I
Right.
would, no.
Right.
But I know
Right.
that's not his temperament.
Mm-hmm.
So that was some growing for me. And I mean, we're still very sometimes opposite.
Mm.
So we try to, merge it and bring some type of balance,
I feel like you're talking about us.
Yeah, that's us.
That's with his family, that we had to work out how to draw boundaries and how to, like, I'm your family now, and it's okay if, behind our backs they're saying, well, she took him away from us. It's okay. They can think that. But we're over here busy building our family, and it's okay what they think. And over time,
I went through the dropping stuff and going to help them, helping my mom or whoever, and I had to learn, okay, well, it's about us first. It's more important, because the last thing I needed to be was dog tired from helping them and come home and I can't give her anything but just a hug. And
look, that was the least of you had a home to come back to pretty soon. You was gonna be going and staying over there. just go ahead and take your stuff, since that's where you want to be.
Look, I knew. Only thing I knew, that my bedroom was gone. The other bedroom had been turned into a little studio apartment, so I couldn't sleep in that. So it wasn't gonna be nothing but a couch. So I was like, bro, you got to work this thing out, because I can't sleep on no couch. I done got used to that king size now. Shoot.
So in the midst of all of this and the learning and the growing, how is it that you two began to learn how to carve out that time for each other, and how to build that connection and grow that connection with each other?
Oh, I guess that nod means you go ahead. We set that pose now, you know what I mean? Well, I guess it's almost like a moment by moment, situation by situation. Depending on the situation, I'm learning to adjust. And my children haven't been so nice to Verlyn, like you were talking about. Families and doing things of that nature. So when things like that occur, it's most time it's going to be an ongoing situation, and it doesn't happen. It's not something that happens overnight. It's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And once
Right.
you understand the way something is, you have to make the adjustments. So doing that, I found that I think more than I would respond. One time I was very spontaneous, and now I look at the picture and I'm like, whoa, that's not right.
Yes.
And because it's not right, and this is my wife, then okay, then I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very hard for people to accept, because all of a sudden, hey, Tyrone is saying no.
Oh yeah.
Or he's not doing the things that he used to do. What's going on? She's taking him away. I like that statement when you said that, so I use it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a takeaway, and a statement that Verl always makes is, people do what they want to do, and then they want you to do what they want you to do.
Yep.
Yes.
So now they're doing everything they want to do. Now, hey, look, I need you to do this too. No, well,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone can make a choice on what they want to do. And I think that was the greatest thing for me of making a choice of what I wanted to do instead
Uh,
of being a person pleaser all the time, because that was me. I always wanted
Yep.
to make everybody happy. I didn't want any conflict, you know. No, I want
yes.
to be just a nice guy, you know. Oh, Tyrone, he's so nice, you know, but you're not being so nice because guess what? You're using me to a degree because of
Mm-hmm.
the passion that I have, you
Yeah.
know. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
look
I
at
think
that.
I think we long lost brothers or something. I don't know what.
I told you all from day one discernment.
You
And she
did.
said,
You
well, you
said
don't
it.
know.
You were
She said,
Yeah,
you
right.
we
don't.
are lying. We are like,
I
hey
know.
man, I tell you, that's oh man,
And I think that was
some of them
what was so
same
hard
battles.
for him is because I mean that's just him. He's a good person. And so telling people no felt like he was being
Well,
a bad person.
and I told her, say, I'm the youngest of 10 children.
It's 10 of us.
Oh
Yeah, so
wow.
I'm the baby,
I'm a
and
seven.
okay, so I was used to kind of like throughout life, this brother or sister needs help. Uh, you drop what you're doing, and you're gonna go help your brother move. Even if I didn't agree with the situation, even if I didn't care about, the spouse or the girlfriend or whoever, I had to go help because it was expected of me. So coming into adulthood, it was just expected of me to be there. And once I got married, I had to learn, okay, I need to be here for my family as well. So I had to try to learn to create that balance. And one of the things that, I didn't have the same plight that you had because I didn't have children to be concerned about, but I almost, think about, well, definitely I didn't have to deal with that, but still it was like family members expecting, hey, Byron, he'll do it. He ain't got nothing going on. Then I finally had to just, you know, utilize some strategies to say, hey, to learn to say no, even I didn't exactly say no. I
I
learned
tell
how to
him,
say no
just
without
blame
saying
me.
no.
Just blame me. You're gonna say it's my fault anyways.
Yeah.
Just blame me. But that was a difficult thing for, and then we were so young. He's youngest of 10, so he was still like the baby of the family. But no, this is an adult and he has a child of his own as well as his wife. And so that was I think because I was an only child and the way that I was raised, I knew how to set boundaries, and I wasn't concerned about other people's feelings. That's out of my realm of control. And so he and I, I've softened a lot. I've softened a lot, and he's learned a lot about boundaries. But in the beginning, I was like, "Hey, your feelings are hurt. I'm sorry, but we're not coming. That's
Yeah,
it."
yeah.
So we had to learn that as well, that balance, but and also the boundaries.
Yeah. Yep.
And I wanted to go back to your original the question that you asked
Mhm.
about carving out time and things like that. Initially, we didn't really do it. It was like whenever time came, we would go out or we would do something. And then maybe about a year or two ago, we said we will be intentional about having a date night,
Mhm.
just going,
Yes.
doing something, even if it's just going up the street to IHOP. The children were a little older and we could
Mm,
leave them at home versus before, having younger children. And we don't live close to folks so they can just pop over. And so
yeah.
that was one thing. And then I guess in the past, 2 years, he's been retired. And so he's here all the time.
He has to say it all the time. Why don't you go
Oh.
somewhere, Tyrone?
We don't have to carve out anything. He's always
It's just right.
There you go. There you go.
he's always here. Tomorrow we actually have a date night. I'm going to the hairdresser because even though he's always here, we sometimes you have to get out of here, you know, and go to a different
Yes.
atmosphere and just have a change of scenery. So, you know, tomorrow I'm going to go get all dolled up, you know, and then we're going out tomorrow night. We're going to leave out of the house. We won't be here. We're going to be there.
There you go. There you go.
All right. And look, I've seen pictures of you all dolled up when y'all have gone out. So I'm looking forward to seeing
Wait
pictures.
till tomorrow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And
So-
of course, going away just on a couple of quick vacations. Oh my gosh, it's huge when you are doing the mundane thing, and you know, folks retire, and you always in the house, and we're always, you know, doing these things in the garden. All, you know what I mean? You need to break the monotony and go out somewhere different. Even though he prefers to be here, like he will be in the garden. He would just stay all day long, cut the grass all day long. I need to be by some water, you know, be somewhere different so I won't wash clothes and do stuff around the house. You know?
And what I did one day, I just grabbed a gallon of water and I say, "Okay, honey, there you are, you bottled water." You gotta be creative.
Hey, get on one of them kiddie pools.
Thank you, Verlyn.
You know what? Right.
Let me stop. I want to be a part of this.
I'm sorry.
I want to be a part of this.
Break up our happy home. And he gonna be sleeping in that kiddie pool.
And you mentioned your garden. I'm so in awe of it because I kill everything.
Oh yeah, we kill everything.
I've killed succulents. I kill everything.
We kill
you know
fake
what?
things.
If we could trade, right? If we live close, you can teach me your technical skills, like all the boxes y'all got and the breakaways and fade-ins, and I'll teach you gardening.
I'm so in awe of it. I'm so in awe of it. I might be able to get him to eat more vegetables if I could grow them. What you think? Probably.
Hey, I'm telling you, the difference between a tomato from Food Line and one out your garden, that's the truth.
I know.
I believe it.
I don't like tomatoes, but I'll eat them out of my garden.
See, that makes a big difference. We're going to get there one day.
That's being technical skills. One day y'all will see all kind of fancy stuff. I might be asking y'all I might say, can I just pay you to do it? Are y'all for hire?
See, unlike the gardening with the technical stuff, you just try things. You can always undo it. Once I kill those plants, I can't bring them back.
Yeah, it's hard to bring them back.
They're gone.
It start getting brown and stuff. You be like, oh, I'm happy.
Do have one that has almost made it a year. Almost a year.
Yeah, we did good with that one.
Yep. So I know that, Verlyn, from your podcast before you do podcasts and some of the things that you post, service within your marriage and serving each other is a big thing for you. So explain to us what that means, and then how, as husband and wife, how you serve each other within marriage.
Well, most of the time, in my opinion, we go into marriage basically looking for what we can get out of it. You know, I want to be this, I want to have that, you know. And I mean, I get it. You know, to me, marriage is about problem solving. You know, you solve each other's problems, meet needs or whatever. But I think that we forget that part about serving, doing that thing or those things for your spouse that just enhance your life, or doing those things that you need to do to help out. I'm not even necessarily saying, okay, I'm going to fix a plate and bring it to you, that type of service. Although I will do that. I'm not against that. I will do that. He was coming home from work before he retired 2 years ago. I would come in and I would fix his plate and I bring it to him, you know, because I was home or whatever. And so I'm not saying that necessarily, because he'll fix food or a cup of coffee. So we serve each other. And I think that's the thing. We lose that serving each other because we say, well, this is a role and this is a role.
Yes.
Right.
But when something needs to be done, that's when you just do it. And for me, that means service. It's not just about the giddy feelings, and I just want to be in love. There's a movie, well, it's not an old movie. It's called The Old Settler. Have y'all ever seen that? The Old Settler.
I hadn't seen that one.
Oh my gosh, you gotta see it. It's Felicia
Okay.
Rashad and her real sister Debbie Allen, and they play sisters. And then it's Bumper Johnson. He's a younger guy. So I won't tell you the whole thing, but anyway, the younger guy falls in love with the older woman, Felicia Rashad, and she was like, "Well, because of the age gap, what do you want with me?" He was like, "I want the way you make me feel, the way you made me feel yesterday when they were at breakfast, the way you make me feel in your letters." Like everything he was saying was focused on how you make me feel. He wanted to do anything for her. It was just make me feel good, make me feel good.
Right.
That's a lot of times the mentality, make me happy, make me feel satisfied, make me feel fulfilled. But it's not just about those giddy, make me feel love things. It's about getting down dirty and serving and doing those things that help move the marriage forward, And so again, I mean, I love serving. And matter of fact, I tell my husband all the time, I said, y'all ever see the Jeffersons?
Yes.
In Florence, I'm like, I'm about that servant. I want a real servant. I'm about to, like, give me a Florence, right? Or Jeffrey off Fresh Prince, right? The whole thing about being served, But I also don't mind serving, but that's my life. I need me a butler and a maid. But in the meantime, it's about doing what you have to do.
Right. Right.
Like, this is not for me. This is not for me. Whatever needs to be done, that's how you serve in marriage and make it work. It's not all the pretty stuff and all the get dolled up stuff. It's about doing the thing that needs to be done that moves the marriage forward. And that's my opinion,
Right.
All right. That's good stuff right there. What's your take on that, Brother Tyrone?
Well, I tell you what, I like the service. I got to tell you. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Nice fresh linen every week, and
I am Florence.
Clothes wise, hey, we talk about service, but look, I don't want to come on this podcast and things go the other way. Let's keep it the way it is.
That's right. Hey.
But on the serious tip, I'm very grateful for my wife because she does take good care of me, and I tell her all the time. I really appreciate that. What I'm trying to do as well for her, and I'm just starting to do things of that nature, and I hope she doesn't mind. But one time I would give her maybe like $20 or $30. Hey, baby, buy yourself something, And then I moved up to $100 so, and I'm like, hey man, I'm on top. She said, no, I need thousands of dollars. What happened to the 20 and the 100?
That was 18 years ago.
Florence was getting paid. Florence was getting paid.
She reminds me, of a service, So the service that I can give her, like she's going out to Debbie up or Davy up or whatever she's dolled up. She's gonna go get dolled up, And hey, I'm like, hey, go do it, Matter of fact, I encourage sometimes why don't you just do a whole full massage, And she's like, well, okay, and such. And every now and then she'll do something really special like that, So the things that I do around the house are not so great. I'm into industrial art, so I keep the I do all the building. Like outside now, we got a 20 by 40 high-rise tunnel, for a garden so we can have fresh vegetables year round. But I'm an outdoor person, so I like being outside. So even though I'm home now, it's been 80 and 90 degrees. I've been in the basement. I haven't been outside doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's just too hot. But I'm an outdoor person, and I don't know. I guess I serve her sometimes just by being out of the house. You heard what she said. She's always home.
Man, I love that.
He cook.
Oh, yeah.
He fixes breakfast. He'll bring coffee. He'll set the table. He does things.
But those are just normal things.
Right.
Service,
Right.
Like I said,
it's normal.
they're normal, but that matters because you got to think somebody ain't getting none of that. Some people
True.
Right.
having to do all that stuff by themselves, so
That's
Or
right.
it definitely matters.
are willing to walk away
Oh yeah, we want to
over
walk
those
away
types
because
of
they're
things.
not getting it or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
that's beautiful. So I'm just gonna put this out there. Not gonna put it out there, but I saw a recent activity. I saw a young lady, Sister Verlyn, on the back of a motorcycle, and I thought that was very exciting.
Showed the video.
I know that.
Went down.
I was trying to encourage her to go more often.
Yeah, yeah.
When he started, I was again. Well, I didn't want him to get a motorcycle. I told him no. I told him explicitly, no, you cannot get it, and he got it. So for a long time, I wouldn't even talk about him, the motorcycle, or any of that because I told you not to get it. And then I finally started riding with him, and now I ask, ready to go for a ride.
Yep.
So I get excited to go ride, and we just we have music playing, and we get to zone out, and it's just the two of us. Our soon to be 24-year-old keeps saying, we need a sidecar. No, ma'am, we don't.
We can't get in sidecar.
So we were trying to encourage her, go riding a little bit more often.
This is something I thought about when you serving. The thing that I keep in mind is you don't mind serving, but you don't want to make a person just become overly needy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yes, yes.
you know, it's one thing we all need somebody, but don't be needy. It's a difference between needing someone and being needy.
Right.
So
Right.
in that scope, you know, I always keep in mind that we want to serve each other, but you don't want to handicap a person. You know,
Right.
they feel like you know, I can't do anything. I just, you know what I mean?
Right.
You want to not make a person become needy, and at the
Yeah.
same time fulfill a need. You know, just have balance. So, yeah, I think that's important too.
I think too that when you know the person you're with and they're good at their core, I don't see that being as much of an issue because the other person would have to be a bit it's almost a manipulative type thing.
Yeah.
That would have to kick in. And I think once you have somebody that's good at their core, I know for both of us, there have been times where I'm trying to do something needs to be done. I'm trying to get to it to do it. He's trying to get to it to do it. And then we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Over, well, I was going to get to it. You just didn't give me time. So it's the idea of trying to make things easier for each other. We get so involved in that sometimes it's like we have to stop and say, okay, this is counterproductive now.
Yeah.
We're arguing about who's going to do it. So moving forward, what's the future look like now that Mr. Tyrone is retired and
Oh yeah.
and he's home and
all the time.
All the time.
What else is moving forward? What other plans and dreams and goals are there?
Well, for me, podcasts, like I'm trying to be the #1 podcast for women. I'm trying to be the Ask Burl segment, you know, like my passion is I want to see us happily married.
Right.
Like,
yes.
I love seeing not even the idea of love and being in love because that's fleeting, you know, and that's an emotional thing, but to see people truly connected and truly happy and building a legacy of love. And now I'm getting more into this research, and I'm not going to go off too much about how marriage is tied in with building wealth. Oh my God. That's a whole, we talked about that, Margaret. I sent you information, and just getting on that trajectory where not just us thinking about us right now in this generation, but
Right.
then, there's another generation and another generation, and
Yeah.
we're planning, what we're going to do in a month or two, and other people are planning 2 and 3 generations,
Right.
and but you got to start somewhere, and I think that's
Oh,
where it
yes.
starts with family and marriages. You need that foundation to even build wealth. And so, like,
Right.
I'm heavy on that right now. And so, where I see myself is really delving into that arena where I want to make impact.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
life, my word, my podcast, anything that I'm doing can make an impact on those that are coming behind me to say,
Right.
look, get married, be married. It's okay. Don't listen to what society
Right.
is saying. Don't
Yes.
look at social media and see that as a compass,
Right.
Mm.
man, and I can do it myself. No, miss me with that. We
Right.
need each other. We were
Mm-hmm.
made
Right.
Yeah.
to be in
Yeah.
community with each other. And so that's my thing. That's why I started a group for women. That's why I have, the podcast. That's why I'm doing my website. Like, I want to see us happily married and moving forward and building
Absolutely.
legacy. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to do.
Absolutely.
That's
I mean, and
beautiful.
that's just my personal thing. But, in terms of marriage, I mean, I don't know. It's like, you know, you do the typical things, you buy a home, you get some transportation, you have some children. I don't know what's left other than at this point seeing, what he wants to do, what I want to do, and we know we're going to do it together,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How about you, Ty?
Well, I support what you said. We're at the point in life now where we're giving back.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know, so I'm hoping that her podcast will take off and she'll be able to help people because she's always talking about I want to live. I don't want to just exist. You know,
Mm.
and it's living when you can help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's to me, that's a servant. You talking about serving. You know, uh, I'm grateful of where the marriage is, and that doesn't mean that we don't have differences or whatever. But moving forward, we've sort of crossed over the mountaintop, and now we're about to go back down into the valley and reap some of the things that we've learned coming up the mountain.
Yes.
So
I like that.
you know, uh, my thing moving towards the future is being, self-sustained. Having where I don't have to go to the supermarket to buy any fruits and vegetables or food, but everything I need, I'm growing. Like I have about 40 or 50 fruit trees, and
Wow.
I have a
Mm.
nice garden, and and those are the things that I enjoy. But at the same time, in doing all of that, every plant that I have out there other than the fruit trees came from Verlyn sitting down in here and taking one seed at a time and putting it in the thing.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like, yeah, I have a beautiful garden, but my wife took the time out to plant the seeds.
That's
You know,
beautiful.
Yes.
so like the words say, you plant a seed, I'll do the watering. I'll do
Mm-hmm.
the nurturing,
Right.
and that's where it is with me moving forward with my wife. Is it's nice to have somebody that participates in what I like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I like gardening. I like my fresh tomatoes. I can go right out there and then just pick a fresh red tomato and just eat it right off the vine. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's beautiful.
those are the things that I feel though that we're moving towards the future, giving back. Giving back, and hopefully, with this farm thing, we talked about. I'm not in it to make money. I'm gonna probably end up giving most of it away. So if you guys
Mm-hmm.
move closer, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
tempt me. I'm
Now, let me
always
tell
ready
you,
to move.
I'm about helping people and I want to do all that, but eventually I'm trying to hire me a Florence. So I need to get this podcast and these
Look.
speaking
All
engagements
right.
rolling
Look,
so I can get me a Florence
we're
around
gonna
here.
start praying for Florence, but you'll get Florence part time. Now she ain't got to get one full time. You get one part time. Just start out.
I'm like the idea of having a live-in. Y'all would watch that. Listen, y'all would watch how they be living.
Right.
They come in and somebody just be like, "Your
Breakfast
coffee
is ready.
man."
Right.
What?
Right.
That is my life.
Not even a thought, just breakfast ready from the beginning to the end.
And Louise was not working anywhere.
Nowhere.
That penthouse.
Nowhere.
And Florence have her
Right.
coffee ready. What? Yes, my life.
Look, dishes put away at the end of the night before you go to bed, but you didn't have to do it. I get it.
Yep,
Say, Tyrone, man, you got to do some more planning.
We all want a chord, I can tell you that.
I guess we got to do some more planning, brother. Nobody.
I hop that bike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's the other woman. I don't know. I just had to make peace with her. Me and her just had to be friends because he let me know real quick she wasn't going nowhere.
Eventually.
He says that, but
eventually
we've visited Panama twice now this year.
Wow.
And I am ready to move.
Goodness.
And he's looking around saying, I don't see many motorcycles down here, do they? I don't see many.
Now, where are you all from? Where are you all living?
We're in South Carolina now. Okay. We are originally from Georgia, and we're right across the river in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in the Augusta area where the Masters golf tournament, where they have that at.
Yeah.
James Brown hometown. Well,
James Brown hometown.
That's right.
Edgefield,
That's right.
Whatever, but they say Augusta is hometown, but he was born in Edgefield, but
Well, he grew up in Augusta.
Yeah, he grew up in Augusta. Well, we would like to thank you two for your time. I mean, it's just been a delight to talk to the two of you, to hear your wonderful story, to hear those nuggets of wisdom. And as we continue to hear Verlyn's words of wisdom all the time, because she just does a phenomenal job on her podcast. My brother Tyrone, it's nice to finally meet you. And
awesome.
We hope soon to get up there and to see that garden and maybe do some riding together. Yeah, hook up the trailer, right?
Oh.
Bring the bike up there.
We're taking her with us, huh?
Well, you know what?
Take her.
Talking about the future, it would be nice, to have a place to vacation. I mean, you all, I know Verlyn, you all are going to be conversing a lot. Mm-hmm. And, you never know. We may have a place where we can go once a year or whatever. You all have somewhere where you can go once a year.
There you go.
There we go.
If you come here during the summertime, all the fruit and vegetables, and then what I'll do, I'll load you up going back, so it'll hold you for
right.
going back.
All right.
That sounds like a plan.
I got to tell you this one more thing, because we're talking about going back to the motorcycle. I told them about how when you went back to our old neighborhood, how you riding your Harley. Tell them.
No, we already talked about. I want to talk about that.
Please.
I don't want. No man's gonna ride on the back of my motorcycle. That's
I said, he was like, "Hey man, can you give me a ride?"
Oh man!
Believe he think I'm gonna have some man.
That's a man law violation right there. That's the
and I don't even want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
I did the same thing to him. Was it your bike or was it his bike? And y'all were riding, and I said, "Well, just get on the back of the bike with him."
Oh yeah, my brother's bike broke down. My brother's bike broke down. I was like, nah, we can't do that. That's a funny video I saw of one brother. He was riding the bike and the other dude was on the bike, but he was turned around. And it was a harness, so he had his legs spread. Oh man, that thing was funny. I said, yeah, now if I had to get my brother to safety, that's the way it's gonna be.
That's the way it's gotta be.
And on that note, again, we thank y'all.
Oh yeah, welcome back. Man, I tell you.
Told you were gonna laugh.
Like, yes. I mean, we laughed, we cut up. That was a good time. That was a real good time.
I think that the idea of service within marriage, and I know that that's something that Verlyn really she speaks a lot on, and she believes in, and that's something that I don't think we have used those words, but that is something that that we tend to do. We what we say is we try to make it easy for the other person. So we appreciate those pearls of wisdom. We appreciate their time and their sharing with us, and we hope that you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed that. I mean, I tell you.
Also, for any wives or wives to be or want to be wives to be,
yes,
Verlyn has a group, a Facebook group that you can join, and we will make sure that that information is linked. But it is the Before You Do podcast, and on Facebook, her Facebook profile is author Verlyn Tarleton. We'll have all those links, but make sure to join her group, follow her page so that you can be updated and so that you can get a hold of some of those resources that she has. And she also has a book, The Next Wife, that I've read, and it's her perspective of remarriage being the second marriage. And even though it's not my situation, there was still a lot that I gained from that. So we'll have all that information linked for you. And until next time,
we will holla at y'all.